YouTube, what's going on? We're back with some more of the First Descendant. Got some more solo hard mode content for you here. Rocking my Viessa Cold Snap Watch build. So the Cold Snap Watch Season 2 got a huge skill power buff. So this thing hits pretty hard. So I've got, my build that I go through in full detail here. Absolutely love the Cold Snap Watch. I feel it's a good enemy spawn. The 400, they're spawning everywhere. So these sheets just absolutely just lay waste to mobs. So another really fun build with Viessa. I'm glad it got the buff that it got. You guys appreciate these videos. You're liking the build. You're liking the grind. Please feel free to sub to the channel. And as always, smash that like button. this is my updated Viessa Cold Snap Watch build. This is post buff. So Cold Snap Watch received a skill power buff for that skill just generally. Obviously we got the 30% movement, and I guess the beautiful thing about the applied buffs, or the things that Viessa gained, was the damage interval rate. So we tick for more damage for the longer duration that we are up. So all things to consider, very nice buffs for Viessa. So I have a very good frozen mixture reactor. This is the one I like to run. I think fusion is more beneficial than running a technician reactor, because again you're spamming your 3, which is Cold Snap Watch, which is fusion, and your 1 a lot, which is also fusion, and your 4, because this is not a cold blood in this build, is on a longer duration, like 20 seconds. So it's not like readily available as quickly as Cold Snap Watch and Frost Shards are. So I feel like you get a little bit more damage, but by all means, you can run attack and use that, just but again, you'd only be taking advantage of that with your number 4 ability, the Blizzard, as opposed to taking advantage of it with your 1 and 3. Just hit a little bit softer on the 4, that's all. So yeah, by all means you can run attack. I run a fusion. I have a really good roll with it too. With my reactor I have the legendary fusion skill power with some skill critical hit damage, so it just couples really nicely with the buffs that Viessa's got, with the duration and the skill critical hit damage and our critical hit rate that's already applied, and we're just adding to the critical hit damage. It's a really good roll, so I do like running this reactor just because I got one. But that being said, ultimate reactors are where it's at. As you can see, they can be enhanced up to 5 times. They are going to be the go-to reactor. So looking for a fusion reactor, if you can get one and then buff up your legend or your ultimate reactor, I mean that is the play. That's the way to go with it. I like to run the 2-piece polar right now with a 2-piece annihilation. The reason why I'm doing that is for the max HP gains that we get. I was running the Slayer set, but you do take the Slayer set, but you do take a pretty nasty hit on the HP running it, so I just use it for bossing. The annihilation again gives me some skill duration, which is pretty sweet, and the chill skill power, but again it allows me to spec heavily into max HP, with obviously my favorite ones, which is MP recovery and combat. I feel like that's like my go-to favorite, as well as just some resistance mods, MP more at max HP, MP recoveries, shield recovery out of combat, and I can swap these out for other ones too. This is just the set I'm currently running just because it's got the most legendary or ultimate rolls to go with it. So this worked really well. Again, you can run it with a I don't really recommend a 4-piece polar. You can run it with a 4-piece annihilation Slayer. I like the 2 and 2. I feel like you get a lot benefits out of running the 2 and 2. And again, you can run a 4-piece Slayer for just straight skill power damage, which is also a nice play. You just don't get the the HP bump is just to take a little bit of hit on the survive ability there. That's all. This is my Cold Snap Watch build. So again, Cold Snap in general got a nice skill power boost in general, so it hits for like 3,200% skill power buff. They just buffed that Cold Snap in general, but again, when you apply the Cold Snap Watch, it creates a sheet of ice, and it damages enemies in a damage tick interval over time, and inflicts them with ice tackles, suffer continuous damage. So it's a really nice crowd control. Again, this is at a 4.8 second cooldown, and again, it's the damage interval. So we have this up for 8 seconds, and I believe this damage interval, I don't know if it was on a second for this one. I know the number 4 was on a 2-second damage interval. Now it's down to a second. So I'm pretty sure the damage intervals have been decreased, and that's crazy because it ticks every second for huge amounts of skill power damage over 8 seconds. So it ticks 8 times. I think you get 9 because I get that extra tick of duration. I believe that's how that works. So again, max roads, the frost roads is up. Great skill cooldown, 2.2 second cooldown on the frost shards. again, 4-second cooldown on that, and then the 19-second on the 4. So that's why I opted to go. See, as you can see, it's chill fusion. For the for the 3 out of the 4. Tech only for the 4, so I opted out on this one. It'll still hit. It's just not going to be like as crazy as it normally is with respect into this. So it's kind of like an all-around damage output build for it. Simplicity of the builds, nothing really changes as far as what I use for the build. So as far as survivability, I'm using the max HP, take a little bit of shield hit, but make that up in another module, which I'll go over, and then max HP, those are your survivability. Then you want to spec into your skill cooldowns, which is your MP conversion, 36%, and MP max MP deduction, but we don't worry about that because we got the MP collector on, with the skill cooldown for another 25% skill cooldown. Those are the 2 cooldown mods. Then you want to go into your range, so you got amplification control. There's the offsetting for the negative effect of the max shields there. And you get the 57%. This is, in my opinion, better than the maximized range because there's a negative 20% skill power modifier debuff. And you got the min-max the node. You don't max it out. You'd have to drop a couple of nodes off to not, feel the effect of that skill power modifier. So for simplicity, I went with amplification control. You want to use the maximized range. So the maximum range skill power modifier minus 20%. So you do get the range, it will be up, but again, that skill power modifier is a tough pill to swallow. So you can just, reduce the tick, not max it out. A little bit of a skill power modifier goes down. Your range will still be up and you get the max, but again, just went with these application control. Do you at the end of the day, and recouple that with the skill expansion to get as much out of that as we can on our range. I feel the 144% does the trick. It's my sweet spot for myself. And then we'll apply the focus on chill. The chill scale power modifier is huge, 77%, and I like it because it gives you the skill cooldown. Chill is on all of our abilities, so it's focusing exactly on that. It's giving that bump to all of our skills. So huge skill cooldown, very, very nice. And then this is where we spec into a little bit of a bump here into our critical hit rate, which is what we want, and our skill critical hit damage. So the critical hit rate goes up, we have a better chance of getting critical hit damage, so we spec more into critical hit rate at 115%. So what I didn't go over, and this is, more so with absolute zero, is Viessa has great base stats when it comes to her skill critical hit rate and damage. So she is ticking at a 42% critical hit rate, and that critical hit damage is almost at a 2% multiplier. So 1.89 skill percent damage multiplier at a 42% chance. Pretty it's a pretty nice little spec. She hits when she hits often for high damage. So those are the 2 we spec into, and then obviously top it off with the MP collector just so we can regain as much mana as we possibly can. To continuously spam our skills and lay down the damage that is needed to clear all these maps. That is the updated Viessa buff. Again, reactors are king. They can be enhanced 5 times. Grinding for those. Those are just extra skill power. That's it.